What's up, guys and gals? It's time for the latest chapter review of Shuumatsu no Valkyrie, also known as Record of Ragnarok, and this is chapter 116, entitled The Loser Button. Buddha explains what the loser button is that Kintoki cannot let anything lying down. And I'll be honest with you, this chapter was great, but it's one-dimensional, short and sweet. That's not a bad thing, but I don't have a whole lot to review other than... yeah, this is pretty freaking cool. This was a topsy-turvy. I like it. I like the reverse. We've seen it done many times in anime, in movies, but it's still so cool when a character takes the other's weapon and is like, you want it back? Boom! And they hit them with their own goddamn weapon. It's always badass. It's always cool. And Kintoki is no slouch here, especially with Gungnir, where he's like, oh, it's Thor's hammer, Gungnir returning. He's like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. You want it back? Really? You sure? Yeah, it seems to want back. Okay, boom! And I like the fake Odin here. I like his bravado and his arrogance, because this should not have almost happened, but he's never been on the tail end of his own attack before, so he's not even using the big brain, using the gray matter up here, and I kind of like that. I also like the fact, and I'll try to work this into the thumbnail, that the moment Kintoki's like, alright, it's sumo time, not only do the sumo bros from Raiden's fight get all like, whoa, like, that is excellent form, Kintoki. Shiva's like, oh, we doing sumo? And he's lighting up like a 5-year-old that just got his first Pokemon game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay, I'm with this. And as I said, the whole chapter is just leading up to, and it's not a bad thing, because if it was done shorter, then it wouldn't feel as impactful. So I'm not shitting on the chapter for this. There's just not a whole lot else to discuss. Odin throws the spear, and it takes pages for Kintoki to sumo catch Gungnir, force it into submission, and slam it down into the ground. And he's like, alright, I stopped your ultimate missile, your ultimate attack, and the crowd goes wild. And then Odin's just like, oh, you think that's cool? Return your Thor's Mjolnir, return Thor's hammer style. And Kintoki's like, oh, no, grab. And everyone's like, what? What are you doing? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to throw it back at you. And Odin, in all his arrogance, in all his bravado, in all his blissful ignorance, it's like, oh, well, Fafrinir, or however you say it, Fadnir, or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, the ultimate transmutation circle shield. You know what I mean? He's like, boom, 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 boom. And it's like, yeah, okay, you're going to send it back at me? No big deal. Gungnir has said to always hit its target. It's one of those rules. It's one of those fun things like Darksiders. The number of horsemen shall always be 4. It's a rule. It defies logic. It defies everything. So it's like, oh yeah, these shields are nigh impenetrable. Gungnir can penetrate anything. So he didn't use the logic here. It's like, well, something's got to give, and obviously Gungnir supersedes your fucking Curse Time shield. And he's just like, oh yeah, I can stop this. Break, slam right across here. Major damage, and I'm like, yes, okay. We have a fight now. And I'm good with this. Reverse counterattacking a fake Odin is probably the best way this is going to go down. And it's probably the most logical way that Odin, or fake Odin, is going to be defeated, is his own hubris. Is moves like this, where he's so arrogant and sure of himself in his own power that he's not... And remember, this is not real Odin. This is fake Odin. At the end of the day, when that shell breaks away, this is all stolen power. Borrowed power. It's not his own power. It's not real power. Odin, fake Odin here, has no real power of his own. He took it all. Right? He's just a disciple of Gungnir. That's all he is. Vex, or whatever his name is. Yeah, Vex. He's got no actual power on his own. No more than a mediocre god would. So this is all coming from his hatred of, obviously, everything. And the fact that he went away and now has all of the heirlooms, all the calamities within his own body, within his own flesh. This is where most of his power comes from at this point. It's going to turn on him, in a sense. I'm very much picturing the Secret Wars. I think it was season 5, the final season of the animated Spider-Man cartoon, the 90s cartoon. Aerosmith doing that Spider Blood, you know. Probably the best. 90s were fantastic. And in that, when the Beyonder, Dr. Doom steals, spoiler alert, Dr. Doom steals the Beyonder's powers, or thinks he does, and he can't control them and stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, well, I you know, all this power, it's all mine, and I can control it. I've zapped all the power, I can control it. I'm Dr. fucking Doom. And it seems like that for a while, but then he's slowly losing control of his power, both asleep and awake, because he's not meant to have this. And it's just like, this power is not yours. And eventually it's going to run amok. You think you have control, but you do not. And it's one of those things. And Spider-Man, of course, shows up and does his heroic speech, like, you know, because Dr. Doom, of course, never really had real superpowers from most of the comics, right? He always borrowed, you know, he uses his mind and his great mind and stuff like that. So it was always the fact that he finally gained power. He argues that no one else, you know, no superhero ever gave up their powers and stuff like that. And Spider-Man says, well, I have. Like, I've wanted to give this up because great power, great responsibility sort of idea. And this is something that, of course, the arrogance goes through with Doom. It's the same thing that's happening right now with Odin, or fake Odin, where it's just like, you think yourself to be Odin at this point, but you are not him. And just the fact that you have all this insane cosmic level power to rival Zeus, to rival most of these gods, it's all a sham. It's all a mask. It's a borrowed strength. It's a stolen strength that you do not possess, truly. And I think what I like about this chapter is Kentoki is showcasing that's going to be his downfall. His bravado and his arrogance is going to be his downfall in this fight. I really do believe at this point, well, it's obvious that the way that the score is tallied, that fake Odin has to lose. Maybe not be killed, but has to lose the round in Ragnarok. Or, as I said, something else goes amiss. But either way, I really like the chapter. I hope you guys did too. Very straightforward, as I said. Odin throws a spear. Kentoki catches a spear. And then whips its ass back at him. That's the long and short of the chapter. But it does not mean it was a bad chapter to read. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Chapter 116. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys back next time for chapter 117. Supposedly, that was released. This was a double chapter released, but from the time of recording, 117 is not translated yet, or at least not a translation that I read. So, but I predict that'll be in the next few days or so. They just didn't release both at the same time. It is what it is, you know what I mean? They had 116 done, so they released it. Simple as that. But I suspect 117 will be released easily by this weekend, and then I'll get to that review next week. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Stay tuned for 117. And, of course, the last episode of Season 3 of Record of Ragnarok is right around the corner as well for my review for that episode. I have watched it. Just haven't had the chance. There's quite a bit goes down in that episode, and haven't had a chance to give it the merit it deserves to fully review it. So, but yeah, that's it for me, guys. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Sayonara.